we are live on YouTube. What is up, friends? So I'm just finishing up a blog post that I started yesterday, or kind of started the day before. Sometimes it takes a few days to get a whole blog post done. But yeah, so I am working on a blog post that's using this this demo, and I will share links and things in the KCD meetup channel of Discord. So if you want to join and chat there, and then feel free. You can join the Zoom call as well if you'd like, or just watch the YouTube thing or the recording, which you may be watching. So yeah, anyway, I've got this demo, and I'll give this link right here in the Discord, so you can take a look at that and play around with it if you want to. It's a little contrived example, but shows two different ways to structure the same thing and get wildly different performance characteristics. So yeah, anyway, I'm partway through this. I'm just kind of explaining how things are structured with the slow version. And as I was writing this, I just was about to add some profiling information here. So what I need to do is I need to have this run in production mode. And so I think I need to download this so I can have it run in production mode, but also make it so that it works with, has profiling enabled so I can actually profile it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, just got a question whether it's allowed to just ask things. No, today is not your day to just ask things. If you want to just ask things, then you absolutely can during my office hours, which probably will switch to Friday, so tomorrow morning. I'm still not 100% positive whether I'm taking the day off on Fridays or Saturdays now that kids are getting out of school. But yeah, this is the time you can just ask questions. I'm live streaming to keep me on task. This live stream is not for you, it's for me. And if you do have like comments about things, then yeah, or if you have like feedback on what I'm working on, then you can totally just say stuff. Yeah, I also will, I'll try to explain what I'm doing a little bit, but yeah, I'm mostly here just to make sure I stay on task. So, okay. Cool. So yeah, I've got yeah, the form perf demo. We'll open that up in VS Code. We'll get that installed. And then I'm going to, oh, I thought that I deleted this file. Let's delete that. I decided to keep it all in one file because it's just way easier that way. There we go. Let me know if the music is too loud too. It's hard for me to know whether it's like annoying or not. I think it might be a little quiet actually. Okay. Yeah, so this needs to get installed. I'll go ahead, and while that's installing, I'm gonna do the fast form. But I want to put a profile image here to DOM. Add profile image here. All right, so let's do and let's see. Yeah. I've got a link to what that means. Oops. And I think, can't remember. Do I explain how to do it in here? I think, yeah, I think this is probably better. I feel like I've got another blog post about profiling for production mode. Yes. Yeah, this is probably better. I need to sneeze. Let's see. I think I want to put a GIF in there to show the interaction. I don't know. The interaction isn't going to be that much. We're just going to type. And in fact, we'll just do, we'll type one character and then we'll blur. That's what we'll do. And so I don't need to show that interaction. Okay. And let's see, do I show how to profile that, right? Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's show first not the dev tools or React dev tools, but we'll do it first with the built-in browser dev tools to demonstrate that it's actually slow. So start a profiling session with the browser, the performance profiling session with the browser dev tools. Let's find just a performance profile, Chrome dev tools. Let's just grab the first couple links and see which one of these is best. That one's pretty good. Wow, this is very comprehensive. Excuse me, I knew I needed to sneeze. Wait, this is a lot of stuff. Let's do this one. It's kind of official. Yeah, let's do this one. A 6x slow down, simulate a slower mobile device. Okay, cool. So now let's reload that. Oh, okay, fine. We'll want that to be a dev tab, I suppose. And on top of that, I want my build to be profile. Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay, good. profile, and we'll have a serve, which is serve build. Pretty sure I have serve globally installed, but we'll just install that locally here really quick. Not server build, serve. Okay, cool. So let's build. Yeah, okay, whatever. Change my TypeScript config. Thanks a lot. Okay, cool. Then we go to localhost 5000. And there it is in all of its performance optimized glory. We do a 6x slowdown, start a recording session, focus here, press A, lose focus, and then stop. Okay, cool. So that's the typing and that's the blur right there. So the focus doesn't do anything. We don't have a on focus or anything like that. But when we type, that does something. And when we blur, that does something too. So how are we going to screenshot this to make the most of this experience here? Let's just do that. Yeah, probably be a little narrower. Maybe I could also export save profile and then people could load it themselves if they wanted to. I don't know, they can do it themselves. Yeah, anyway, we can look at the key press is 87 milliseconds. And then just to double check myself, it's always good to make sure that what you're trying to demonstrate is actually well demonstrated. So 6x slowdown, start, focus there, press A, lose focus, and stop. Hey, Peter.
Hi.
So what's so funny is sometimes when I do these profiling sessions, when I move out of the performance tab, like after clicking the button and move out, I'll get this giant red pointer over thing. And I don't know what it's doing, but it's huge. So I always just kind of ignore that. But here, interestingly, we do have what looks like a pretty severe performance problem on that key press, which is odd because if we look at the profiler for when we do this, it's not really doing all that much. Focus, press A, and then unfocus. That should be two renders, and it only renders these. Oh, that's right, we have the penalty component. I wonder if that maybe is causing some problems when we throttle the CPU. Yeah, so I have this arbitrary penalty component just to illustrate that some of these components you render are expensive, but I didn't want to build something that would be expensive. So, and I didn't want to like call out an open source library for being really slow or anything. I don't mind drama too much, but I do. Okay, so let's try this again. Focus, press A, lose focus, and stop. Yeah, it's pretty consistent. As yeah, it's a bummer. Key down. There's the penalty component. Interesting. So the penalty component isn't even the bad one, because it actually the interesting thing about the penalty component is that it's it will only ever take certain number of milliseconds, and that does not increase with CPU slowdown. Yeah, so that's interesting. Maybe instead of with something that's more realistic is rather than having it taking a certain amount of milliseconds, it should do some sort of computation that actually is expensive. And so then the CPU slowdown will impact it. And that will be much more realistic. So, I mean, there's always calculate Fibonacci or something like that, but I'd have to look up how to do that. Calculate pi in JavaScript. How do you calculate pi? I don't even know. Whoa, no thanks. I wonder if there's a module for this.
You could just empty loop like a billion times, no?
Yeah, I could.
Unless
What I'm
people like strips it out or something.
Yeah, what I'm doing right now, man, this is, here, let's reload. The thing's kind of annoying. ESLint does not like it when you install dependencies. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I just say while and then wait for the time to get to that penalty. But if I,
Yeah,
the thing is,
just increment some counter until some one.
Yeah, we could do that. The challenge is I need to watch out for how the engines optimize things, because sometimes they can look at that and be like, oh, I know what this is going to do, and they'll just skip the whole thing altogether and just they're pretty amazing what optimizations the browser has done. So I have to be careful of that. But if I do yeah,
You need to support browsers that you don't have a way to test it in those.
No, I don't need to worry about supporting different browsers.
So you can just try it and see if it optimizes or not.
Yeah, we could do, I'm thinking that I could yeah, let's try something like this. We did penalty, then we change here, let's get rid of this penalty thing. And then we say the penalty is like, yeah, 500,000. Ooh, can we do this? Maybe, that'd be cool. And yeah, and then we just say oh right, it's going to complain about, yeah, well, we could do or current penalty count, or how about some? There we go. And we're doing some sort of computation or product. We'll do multiplication or exponentiation value. We'll start our index at 1. Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see what that does. And we'll just do this in...
yeah, it should do it in 500,000 times, yeah.
Yeah, that I think we're gonna run out of, like, I'm pretty sure we'll run out of the max integer. So we'll see, but it looks like the app isn't totally busted, so kind of curious. Here, let's do window dot, just so I can see what that value ends up being. Oh, because the types. Oh man. Okay, this drives me bonkers. Type checking and compiling are two separate things. Yeah, I hate this so much.
You know A Smart?
What?
You know Mark Harrison? Mark
Oh,
Harrison?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Like he recently just tried out Vite or Vite, bleh, and he was complaining because it wasn't doing type checking while compiling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hear so like polarizing opinions on this all the time.
Yeah, I just so hate the type if the types are wrong, preventing the build.
Right.
I will run them separately. I'll run the build and I will run type checking. I can run them in parallel. And yeah, I like when I'm or maybe if you want to be like that, then just disable type checking during development. That's fine. I'm
Right.
fine with that. But yeah, don't break things there. I think that's because that was yeah, okay, so we need to start out as 2. Now it's going to be crazy. Infinity. Yeah, that's what I thought. Which is probably fine. Let's try this. Console log performance dot now. Or actually, we can do console time. I think the browser has it. Before.
I think you need to use the same string.
Yeah.
For before,
So before doesn't make sense. Penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was that? All right, so it's 15 milliseconds. That's actually great. And we can control this too. And I'm not even throttling. So if we, of course, I'm still in dev mode too. So there's that. Sweet. Yeah, so the throttling will actually impact how fast this is. And I can reduce the penalty to maybe 10,000. Wow, that has a major impact. What's interesting is you can see where garbage collection happened. It's like, oh, that one took way longer. It's so interesting that like we have no control over that. And that's part of why we love JavaScript. So we don't have to worry about it. But it also is like, what do I do about this? Nothing, sorry.
Yeah, maybe you can move the const out of the for loop.
Move the...
yeah, on 47, if you let index outside of the for loop.
Oh, I don't think that'll impact anything. You mean like if we did that?
Sorry, outside of the function.
Sorry.
So it's like when the penalty comp is called multiple times, it's...
Oh, yeah.
But it's just one variable, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, that's intentional. So I put the penalty component in any component that I want to make take longer. So, okay, sweet. So we're gonna just go back to this and yeah. Oh, whoops. Okay, cool. So now if let's build this. And we serve that. Okay, cool. So we do 6x slowdown, measure this, and stop. Yeah, okay. So that's good. What this means actually is that this will take even longer. So I may need to reduce the penalty to make it more realistic. Okay. Yeah, see, there's that thing again. Like, so weird. I don't know what this pointer over thing, but it sure makes a mess in my performance workshops where I'm like, just ignore that. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I don't know. It happens when I mouse over. When I move the mouse out of here, and it's just like, I'm gonna take forever. I don't know. It's weird. I bet that I could find out from somebody what is happening there. But anyway, so now we've gone from 210 to 67. So that's validating, but it still is red, and I want to get it out of the red so that people don't fixate on the fact that it's red. So yeah, it is way faster, but we're gonna adjust our performance penalty a bit. In fact, you know what we could do? Let's do window dot on those. And that way I can control it after building. I hate this so much. Okay, how do I do that? Where's my website?
You could declare the window, no?
Yeah, I just can't ever remember the syntax for that. So
Okay, I don't.
I'm gonna go copy paste. Here it is, declared, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so penalty is gonna be a number, and fields count is a number. There we go. Oops. Whoa, what did I just do? I did this like capitalized into a capital number with some key combination I did, and I don't know what I did. Oh well. Okay, cool. So now I should, oh, actually that's window penalty. Cool. All right, so now we'll be able to control that without having to rebuild for the different penalty values. I do actually, you know what? I'm gonna start with this penalty being down to 10. Yeah, let's do that. 10,000. I could make it even more interesting by saying if the index modulus 2 is greater than or is 1, so like if it's an even number, then do this. Otherwise, like, so we could exponential or whatever the opposite of exponential is. I don't think there's an operator for it. We call that a comment.
Square root.
Yeah, what is that, Peter?
Square root?
Yeah, square root. But there's no operator, unfortunately, as far as I know, for square root. So we could do
Math dot square root.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, any roots, not just square. Yeah. Or logarithm.
Square root is actually to the power of 0.5.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we need it to be.
That's what I usually do.
So logarithm then?
Yeah. Well, and then we're not doing to the power of 2 every time. We're doing to the power of the index, and so we'd want to do the root of the index. Yeah, let's do this just for fun. Then we can reduce the penalty as well. So yeah, we'll say if index 2 is, that's always going to be 1 or 0, right? If I remember right.
Yes.
Else.
1
and then,
if odd, 2 if even, or 0 if even.
So if it's even number, then we'll exponential. If it's an odd, then we'll probably math dot, or let's see. So if it's 2, it's exponential to 0.5. If it's 3, how do we calculate that? Is that
It's like to the power,
by,
1 divided by the number.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. There we go.
Math.
What will modulo do with decimal numbers?
Sorry, what?
The modulo works on integers, but we will have decimal floats.
Yeah, that's true. Oh no, because we're just doing the index, and the index will always be.
The index. Oh, okay. Yeah, we are
that'll work. Okay. I probably better do this in dev mode so I can make changes if I made a mistake. So I probably made a mistake. Just clean this up. Okay, sweet. And actually, let's add our timings again. Console time. NLT. All right, sweet. So yeah, that's looking not as high as I thought it would. And it's interesting that the first couple, maybe this is like while the browser is learning that it needs to optimize this block or something. So it puts it on a, I don't know, but let's clear it and then we'll do our thing. And here, you notice how many of those there are right there? Here, I'm gonna console log here. Check this out. This is the whole point of the article is this right here. So with the other one, we're doing a bajillion of these, and with this one, we only did 2. That's the whole point of the article. It all comes down to unnecessary renders, but everybody thinks the solution to unnecessary renders is memoization, and it's not. The solution is state collocation, and that's what I'm going to show in this one. Anyway, so this is with no throttling. If I throttle it, then we come over here, and now we're, yeah, it's still super slow, or like it's not slow, and that's the problem. Okay, so apparently all of this fun logic did nothing to make it worse, which is too bad. But in order to avoid extra distraction, I'm going to remove that. And we'll go. I'm just curious now. I know that I'm in dev mode, so this probably will not be, it'll be a lot worse, but yeah, it's still very slow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, in prod mode, that should be quite a bit faster, but we're gonna start with 5,000. Okay, let's build, and whoops. NRS is not what I wanted to do, but we'll wait for the build. Okay, served, that's what I wanted. Okay, so trying this again, 6x slowdown. My goal is to make sure we don't get any red on the interaction that's supposed to be faster. Yeah, still pretty slow. So what is the level that it needs to be? Penalty, if we do 500. Okay, so 500 is fine. It's interesting, that task. I don't really understand what the task is. Maybe that's like one run of the event loop or something. Where did we type? Yeah, there it is. Press, there it is. And this is at a 6x slowdown. It's like way faster than this for normal devices. I just like using 6x because it's like not all people have your MacBook. But I really want to avoid having a bunch of red in there. So, but we should, with this same setup, have red in the slow form. So we need to find the magic part, yeah, where we're at no red for the fast form, but red for the slow form. So we can call that out specifically, like this is an improvement, I promise. Yeah. Yeah, so it's way slower. That is perfect. This is gonna work. Oh my gosh. So apparently Google thought I was talking to, did you hear what it said? Google was talking, or thought I was talking to it. And what I said was improvement, I promise, yeah. And it said, I'm doing better, woohoo. And it gave me a little smile emoji. Oh, that's Google, you are so funny. That was actually a suggested thing I could say back. You are funny. Oh, gee. All right, cool. So I think, what was it? Yeah, 500 is the penalty we're going to go for. So I'm going to build for that. So it starts there. And, oh, whoops. And of course, it's going to be different for everybody. depending on the speed of their computer. But at least my screenshots, which is all that matters for the blog post, will show red for the slow stuff and not red for the fast stuff.
You are aiming for red and non-red in the dev mode?
Oh yeah, because a lot of people probably will just use dev mode, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I bet in dev mode they're both red. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything I can do about that. We can, lots of people might just pull up the sandbox and be like, well, let me check this for myself. And then they'll do this performance thing and they'll say, they actually might forget to do the CPU thing, in which case it's fine. But if they do remember the CPU thing, then it will definitely be red. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, but there's not too much I can do about that if they are measuring it wrong. I do give them blog posts that say like, here's what I'm doing. So in any case, all that I need is for it to look good for my screenshots, so that it's not distracting. Like, wait a second, that's still red. And then if they do it themselves, they'll be like, wait a second, that's still red. But then they'll be able to zoom in and they'll figure out the nuance themselves and be like, oh, that was 59 or 69 milliseconds there. And then on this one, it was way worse. Yeah, 192 milliseconds. So yeah, pretty sure anybody looking for the nuance is going to find it, and they'll find them still right. So, and that's all that matters. Okay, cool. So with that, then I got to come back to my article, and sorry, I just got distracted really quick. Okay. All right, so I am going to need to alter some things just a little bit. This is going to be window.penalty. Oh, and actually, yeah, just do that. And we'll come to our penalty component. And now the penalty is not the number of milliseconds. Penalty just controls how many times the loop runs, which yeah, to make that exponentiation operator run for each field. And actually, yeah, you can make it high if you want. Who cares? Okay. Cool. Then we didn't change anything else, so that's good. Here's what the profile looks like. Okay, now we'll come over here and yeah, here we go. Actually, I'm going to refresh just to make sure we don't have weird things going on. Oh, and actually this is dev. Whoops, we want localhost 5000. We need that to be running. All right, performance profiling. It's tricky business. You got to make sure you're doing things right. Or you could write a blog post that says React is slower than Angular or something stupid like that. It is slower than Angular. In some situations, it's definitely slower than Svelte in all situations, if you believe the, well, I don't know, maybe it is slower than Svelte in all situations. And maybe those situations don't matter for 99% of applications. I don't know, maybe it needs to work pretty well for most people. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna hit record and we're gonna come over here. We'll hit A, we'll come back and then stop. Oh, right, hold on a second. Something's fishy. There it is, that key press. Huh, that's odd. What is my penalty? Oh, hold on a second. Okay, it's a 500. We're at a 6x slowdown. Let's try this again. Rats. Okay, maybe 500 isn't the magic number.
Maybe the 500 was the one that was read in dev mode. Huh?
Oh, you mean it? Yeah, maybe. Let's go with 1,000. Or here, let's just play with it over here.
Yeah.
Window penalty is 1,000. Try that. Huh. Well, that's odd. All right. Penalty 5,000 again then. What the devil? I have a feeling that Google has optimized this, and I know a way to make it so Google can't, or Chrome or whatever, Google. We're going to do divided by math. Oh, stop talking to me, phone. Math.random. And now there's no optimizing that. So let's try that.
If you're trying to like make it slow by like doing a bunch of iterations, I think what you could do instead is, I think I've seen people like make a sleep function, which basically does a math, or not math, but a while true, while data is less than another thing, so it actually sleeps for say 500 milliseconds. So you could try that instead.
Yeah, I did that actually. The problem is that doesn't get impacted by CPU slowdown. So, and I want this to be slower when you throttle the CPU. Okay, so let's try this now. With math.random, I'm pretty sure there's no optimization that would be possible here. That seemed pretty fast. Dang it, what is going on? Ah! Let's try 10,000. What were we seeing before? It was totally slow before. What is this? I mean, that is slower. Okay, like I guess it doesn't really matter what the number is. I don't really care how many times we go around. I just want to make sure that it's demonstrates that it's actually slower for man, why are we not getting red on this? That's pretty slow. All right, sweet, whatever. Let's just do 150,000. This should be slow. This should be very slow. Yeah, I felt that. There we go. All right. Okay, cool. And now if we do the same on this one. Yep, plenty fast. Okay, it's 150,000 then, apparently. All right, whatever. That's fine. I don't care. There we go. Let's rebuild that. We'll come up here and update our numbers. All I need is a couple good screenshots. Then people diving in for nuance will find it and it'll be fine. It's no big deal. I could also increase the field count too, but I think 10 is plenty. There aren't too many forms that have, well, I mean, there are plenty of forms that have like 50 fields, but I don't know, maybe I should do the field count actually. And actually, you know, it occurs to me, that putting field count on the window doesn't make any sense because changing that while the app is running isn't going to change anything. So let's do, I'd have to put that in state so that you could re-render. So we're not going to bother with that. We'll just leave that off of window. We're going to put this to 15. And we'll bring this down to 120,000. Let's try that. Okay, sweet. Oh, ugly. Now it bumps those over. Yeah, never mind. Let's go back. Go back. We're going to go back to 10 fields. That's fine. Note, because penalty is on window, you can change it while the app is running to test out different penalties. Yeah, let's just put that right there. Okay, cool. So let's just double check that this is all, hold on a second. I thought I already built it with the right field count. Okay, there we go. So, moment of truth. We record, we click in here, we hit A, we click out, and we stop. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just in case. I think that it actually will be sufficient just to take a screenshot of this part. I don't think and we'll include the 6x slowdown. I've done this before, and that's what I did in the past. That was sufficient. Yeah. Whoops, there it is. Just noticed it was outputting sound to the wrong device. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool, so now, here, you know what? I want to get a screenshot of this too, just in case. Yeah. Wait, what was that? What did I just screenshot? That was on the key press, yeah. Okay, cool. We just have those just handy just in case. And then we record a, hold on. There we go. Yep, man, where was it? I can't even see it. Ooh, so this is actually a problem. I need to make sure I stop in time so that this moves over here so I can screenshot it over there. So we'll come over here. Okay, good, there it is. So it's close enough. All right, so that's the faster. And then here's our key press. And then here's our focus out. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna do the profiler. Come over here, press A, focus out, and stop. Yeah, look at that. Look at all those commits, and we're renders and stuff. Both, they're exactly the same. Okay. And actually, we can shrink this up a bit. Oops, that was a mistake. Okay, and I don't think I'll show that one, but just in case I decide to, I'll grab this too. Okay, and last one. I love that. Yes, co-locate your state, and then you won't be re-rendering every component in your app for every change.
This is showing change in the third field. Is it okay for the screenshot?
Yeah, it's fine. They're all the same.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, so I've got about a bajillion screenshots now. Ooh, I should have bumped up the size. Ah, dang it, because they're like teeny. Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna put all these in a little folder called temp, and just in case I give up or something, but I want to do all this all over again. I need to bump this up so it's bigger. We're gonna refresh. And we don't need that. We really don't need that either. Okay, here we go again. Oh, you know what? I need to make sure that I click. Let's try that. And then we come here. Okay, perfect. Yes, and that's much bigger. Let's do it even bigger. Yeah, look at that. That thing's huge. And actually, just they can tell based on how relative, like the relative size of these two. So I can actually do a screenshot of the whole thing. And in fact, you know what? I'm gonna put the profiler. Let's move the console over here. We'll bring performance right there so we see those tabs. Okay, cool. And then if I put the key press right there, yeah, that looks great. And then we can just screenshot this. This will be way better anyway. Yeah. Yep, okay, cool. Sweet, and then we do the same. Snap. It doesn't even focus for me because it can't tell any particular performance issue. Okay, on that one I did, yeah, I focused on key press, right? Yeah, on the event, yeah, okay. And there's the focus out. Yeah. So the mistake that I just saw yesterday, saw a blog about performance, was they only talked about how many renders there was for something, or how many components were rendered actually is what it was talking about. The blog post was something like, don't return null from your components. And the suggestion was because what you should do is actually in the parent, just don't render the component at all rather than returning null. They said because there's like life cycles and stuff that you don't want to run, and that's a performance problem. And I take very strong issue with that. Of course, there are a lot of, it's very short-sighted, But the whole thing was for performance, but they didn't show the performance tab. They didn't even show the profiler to show what was being rendered and stuff. But even still, if you just show the profiler and you're just saying, look at how many renders there are, and it's like, yeah, but so what? What really matters is how fast it runs. Doesn't matter how many times it renders. So that's why the first screenshot I'm going to show is these profilers, the performance profiler, because that's all that really matters. Okay, cool. So now we're coming back. We do this one. And actually, you know what? I'll just click that. Yeah, there we go. I don't need to see that the fast form didn't render. I didn't do anything with it, so that's better. Okay, and then fast form. Oh, you know what? I want it to be on the first one. Yeah, that's what you were talking about, Peter. That makes sense now. Okay, so let's do that again. We'll have it be on the first one for all three of them, or all of them. Oh, whoops, I don't want that. Pro tip for people who don't know, when you're doing this screenshot thing, you can hold the space key to move this screenshot around. That drove me crazy until I figured that out, because I'd be like, oh, I just barely missed it, and then I'd have to start over.
Space key? Yeah. Why not Shift or Command?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I think Shift controls this, and I feel like, Option does this. I don't know. I guess you start in the middle and then expand out. I don't know when I'd ever use that. Control does nothing. Maybe Command. No. There's no way. Oh, that's interesting. So Shift actually will lock the direction that you're currently traveling.
Oh.
So anyway, space. There it is. And same field for the fast form. Yeah, see, so I'll show the performance tabs and I'll be like, wow, I wonder why this is so slow. Oh, you know what's interesting too is that the fast form didn't even render, whereas in the first one, it does render, the slow form renders, but in this one, not even the fast form renders. It's just the one component, which further illustrates my point. But I'll be like, all right, so let's take a look at this. Oh man, that's slow. Let's restructure things. Oh wow, that's way faster. Why is it so much faster? Well, let's look at the before. Look at all these components that are rendering. And now look at this one. No components are rendering. That's why it's faster. Yeah.
Have you tried to memorize the children?
Yeah, actually, so
it shouldn't help that much, but
no, it wouldn't.
People will complain.
In fact, I think so do I talk about? Yeah, I said memoization won't help because these form field components accept props that are indeed changing. And so if you had been able to look at this, you would have noticed that. So the slow input is accepting, actually, they're not. You could memorize these. The handle change would have to be
memorized. Have to memorize all functions. So.
Yeah. But yeah, you could memorize yourself out of this problem. But who wants to do that? Yeah, I should change this though. So memoization could help. Yeah, so actually what I could do to make it so memoization doesn't help is I could pass the field values, all of the field values.
All values and the name, yeah.
And that's actually that's a legit way that people would write this, is they just say, here's all the field values, here's the name. And actually, if you have sort of not very often, but like think about a sign up where you have a password and confirmed password. That confirmed password needs to know the value of the password to validate itself, right? So that you have the same. And so in that situation, you would need to pass all the field values, or at least the password. And so the more natural thing would be to pass all the field values. So I could do that, and then I could say memoization won't help here. You'd have to restructure it anyway. I don't want to ever do something just so that I can prove my point, like something that people would never do. But the fact is, people do this. They do pass the whole state around to all these components. So, I mean, here's what it would look like: the field values. What I did actually before was I didn't even have a component, and I just rendered the whole thing inside of here. So in that situation, you wouldn't be able to be helped by memoization. The reason I made it a component was so that I could have the, what did I do? I can't remember exactly why I made it a component. Maybe it was for the penalty component thing. Yeah, I think it was more to be like more realistic, where it's like you've got a bunch of form components that you're rendering, and some of them, none of them are slow by themselves, but you add them all up together and they become slow together. This is perf death by 1,000 cuts. So yeah, here, touched fields. And then we go to our slow input, field values, and touched fields. There might be like one or two people who are like, psh, you did this, and then I'll be able to explain that. No, it's more complicated than that. Okay. This shouldn't have any impact on the performance characteristics, so I'm not going to bother. Let me double check the screenshots though. I think this one might. Nope. Yeah, it won't make any difference. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure those screenshots are fine. So yeah, now I can rightly say, I will say that you can't memoize because these values are changing. You could restructure your components and then you could memoize, but then you have to memoize everything, and you're always worried about keeping track of memoization, which is not cool.
Oh no, is it one-to-one with the fast component comparison?
As far as the API?
After this change, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. So the whole point of the blog post is if you just structure your components differently, then or more specifically where your state is being managed, then you can eliminate performance problems.
Yeah. The parent doesn't have the state anymore. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so memoization could help if we passed the, memoization won't help them because we could restructure things a bit and memoize our functions with use callback, or we could restructure some of the restructure the field values and touched fields props a bit.
And the handlers. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And memorize all of our functions with use callback, but nobody wants to do that. What a pain. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have this problem in the first place? Okay. In our example above, we could memoize, oh, not above. Sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah, okay, so this is just talking generally. For most people, the props are changing. So you know what? I don't think I need to add that caveat. I'm just saying memoization probably won't help. So that's fine. Yeah, okay.
You are missing the verb on line 28.
Oh, thank you. This is why I get so many typo fixes on my articles. Normally, it's when I write an article, it's like a string of consciousness publish. But sometimes if I come in and make a couple of changes, I'm very bad at refactoring prose. There's no TypeScript for prose. Well, there is actually. I should probably install something. Anyway, so here, let's update our slow form, our slow input code now that we've made changes. And I've got to make sure I don't forget to update the demo in Code Sandbox too. Okay, so we've got our slow input. And yeah, okay, that's all of that. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, so here's what we need to do now. Let's get these images in and then we talk about the image. So this one is slow performance tab. I'm just giving these names. This one is, wow, look at this. Okay, total blocking time right there, 0 milliseconds versus 112. Like, what? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the fast performance tab. And this is at 6x slowdown and it's still fast. I think that's cool. Okay, so this is slow React profiler and fast React profiler. Okay, cool. Let's get all these up on Cloudinary. What? Okay, so slow performance tab is what we want first. I'm gonna move this over. I don't think I need this anymore. And I don't have my Remark plugin on the Epic React repo. So we're just gonna put in this right there. I'm pretty sure that's where it goes after the upload. Yeah. That just makes it automatically better somehow. I don't know how it works, but it does. I'll have to double check this on Epic React because I haven't done Cloudinary on Epic React yet. I may have to just put these directly in the repo, which would be unfortunate, but yeah, I don't really manage that repo. In fact, I've never even run it locally. I just have it cloned so that I can add articles to it and make pull requests for articles. Okay, so alt for this will be, no, this is the slow one. There we go. Chrome performance tab showing 97 milliseconds on the key press event. That's all I need to say. Chrome performance tab showing 97 milliseconds on the key press event. Dev tools performance tab showing 97 milliseconds on a key press event. Oh, I'm so glad I retook those snapshots or those screenshots. They look a lot better. Okay. Wowza. I don't want to say, do you see that? Every time I use the word see, like I literally just wrote alt text for people who can't see. And now I'm going to say, did you see that? No, I didn't see that. Yeah. Okay, and so what I normally say is check that out, something like that. 97 milliseconds on that key press event. remember that we only have about 16 milliseconds to do our JavaScript magic. Any longer than that, and things start feeling really janky. That's tricky because actually even our fast performance tab is, oh sweet, it's within 16 milliseconds. Good. So we will keep that. The caveat to all of this is we are on a 6x slowdown, so most people experiencing our app are probably not going to see that bad, but I can say the 16 millisecond thing because I was lower than 16 milliseconds even on 6x. That's great.
To be honest, like filling in the form and seeing the error message is not that animation critical.
Yeah, that's true.
But if someone tried to scroll,
yeah, that's true. And if we have like an event listener that's listening on scroll, yeah, then they're in big trouble. And animations and stuff too. Start feeling really janky. Well, and even on here, if I try to type fast, dumb. It's like type. It's like, that's not good.
Yeah, this is hard to see on the Zoom.
Yeah, hard to see. Yeah, basically.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's no good. Start feeling really janky. Okay. And at the bottom there, it's telling us we've blocked the main thread for 112 milliseconds just by typing a single character and blurring that input. Yikes. Okay. I think that I'm going to, now I'm trying to decide if I should move on to the fast one first and then show both of their React profilers and show the commit difference, or if I should show all of the components right now.
They're probably similar images together to compare it here.
Yeah, so I'll just show like, this is slow. I wonder what happens if we change things around a little bit. This is fast. Why is it different? Let's look at this. Yeah. Yep. Let's try and restructure, or actually we could also be like, well, let's take a look at what React is doing. Oh, wow, it's re-rendering all of those components just because I typed A, but it doesn't need to re-render those components. And so maybe instead, we could restructure things so we don't have to re-render all those components. I think that I kind of like that better. Let's do that. The one is kind of like a reveal, like, oh, this one is more like, and if we go with that approach, it's kind of like, let's just try this thing for some random reason. Whereas this is like, here's the problem. We know what the problem is. Let's try to change our approach so that we don't have that problem anymore. So, and this goes into my thoughts around like problem solving versus eliminating. The solution is to memoize everything. The elimination is to restructure it so you don't even have the problem anymore. Because it can't re-render, so you don't need to worry about memoizing it. Yeah, I keep seeing problem elimination, and I just changed my keynote talk at Shift Dev in Croatia. It's going to be about problem elimination. So I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about that. It's just been on my mind so much recently. Okay, so I am going to show the profiler. Where is Cloudner? There we go. We want this one. Whoops, that one. And right after upload, we put our optimizations. We say, yeah, what is this? This is the React DevTools Profiler tab showing all children of the slow form component are re-rendering. Yeah. Oops, what did I just do? I write re-rendering and re-rendering all the time. I haven't chosen which one I like better, and I switch between them all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know which is right. Maybe, okay, let's put it to rest right now with a Twitter poll. So we're gonna go. Which is it? Re-render, or you gotta come up with a fun emoji of some kind. A scarf, sure. 4 days, why not? All right. So yeah, showing all the children of the profiler component are re-rendering. So it looks here. Let's prep this. Let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. Let's try the React Dev Tools profiler, and yeah, C is what I would naturally say. I've been working on this for years now, trying to not say the word C in something that blind people could be consuming. Yeah, let's try the React Dev Tools profiler and observe what's happening, what React is doing when we interact with one of the form fields like that. So it appears that every field is re-rendering, but they don't need to. Only the one I'm interacting with does. Your first instinct to fix this might be to memorize each of your field components. The problem is you'd have to make sure you memorize all the props that are passed, which can really spider out to the rest of the code base quickly. Okay. I try to avoid memoizing if I can. On top of that, we'd have to restructure our props so we only pass primitive values, or primitive or memoizable. That's not a word. Oh, memorizable. Nope, we're just going to go with that. Memoizable values. I try to avoid memoizing if I can for these reasons, and I can. Let's try state collocation instead. I think I already referenced my state collocation article earlier. Yeah, there it is. State collocation. Here's the exact same experience restructured to put the state within the individual fields. Okay, and again, take your time to really understand what's going on here. Okay, cool. I love this part too. We don't even need to control the value. That's nice. In fact, it occurs to me that we might not need to control the value for the slow form either. Yeah. Do we? I don't think we do, actually. Yeah, I think that's a distraction. I need to remove that. Let's just double check, but I'm pretty sure, actually we can just do that in here. Pretty sure we don't need to control it in any case. Cool. Yeah, we don't need to control it. So I'm just gonna not, for either of these, let me double, just get rid of that there and get rid of that there. Now is not the time to talk about the fact that you shouldn't control things unless you need to control them. Okay. Yeah, that was a distraction. This is better. Okay, sweet. Got it. The most, yeah. Again, lots happening, but the most important thing to know there is the state is being managed within the form itself, or within the form fields themselves, rather than in the parent. Let's try out the performance profiler on this now. And we can stick in our screenshot, the fast performance tab. And there's this. And this one could be best described as a performance tab showing the key press taking 15.33 milliseconds. Yeah. The here, let's just copy this. Uh, 15.33 milliseconds on the key press event. Oh, I'm so glad that was under 16 milliseconds. Nice. We're not only are we within the 16 millisecond budget, but we're, you might have noticed it says we didn't block the main. What does it actually say? Total blocking time. Oh, yeah, let's do that. It says we had a total blocking time of 0 milliseconds. That's a lot better than 112 milliseconds. Okay.
Do you want to say that all these timings and even the 15 milliseconds is because of the slowdown?
Yeah. And remember that we're on a 6x slowdown. So for most users, well, yeah, for many, I don't want to make a claim that I can't substantiate, but there are many users, it will be even better. Okay, cool. I should, if I mention that here, I should probably go up here and just say, don't forget, this is a 6x slowdown.
It's on line 238. 238, there's 6 times longer.
Oh, so, yeah. I just want to call it out especially. Okay. Yeah, this is a 6x slowdown, so it won't be quite that bad for many users, but for many users, but it's still an indication of a severe performance issue. Yeah, and in fact, if I go,
do you have a typo in severe?
Oh, sever. How do you spell severe? Severe?
Severe with E in the end.
Oh, with an E at the end. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, so here, let me run this thing again. Without a 6x slowdown, I think that, yeah, see, it's still janky, even without the 6x slowdown. So yeah, it's still not good. And in fact, let's do a performance measure on this.
But now that it's uncontrolled, it shouldn't be so janky with typing. Only with the...
Oh yeah, let's just make sure. I don't think that it'll make a difference, but yeah, it's good to double check. Yeah, actually, that would be an interesting exercise to see what performance impact controlling an input has. I wonder. Okay, so let's do that, do this, do that, and stop. Yeah, man, that's wild. It's still so slow. It's not as bad. I think it was it was 97. This is worse, which is like when we were measuring it. Oh, wait a second, but I'm not throttling. What?
Are you on dev mode?
No, this is for 5000. Okay. So
did you refresh the page after you restarted the server?
Yikes. What the devil? Ah! No! Ah, for crying out loud. You know what? I'm just not going to care. My point is made either way. Yeah. For crying out loud. What the heck? What changed? It can't have just been the controlling and not controlling like that. If anything, it should be faster.
Did you refresh the page in the browser?
Yeah, I did. We'll try again. Maybe we'll do a empty cache and hard reload. Just like blow it all away. And it's also possible that my computer is chugging slowly or something. There's something else that's going on. I am streaming.
Streaming. Overheating.
Yeah, that is very slow. Holy shnikes. Yeah, well, anyway, let's see what the fast one is. It's not as slow, but I could feel that. It is still slow. Yeah. Whatever. My point's made. It doesn't matter. People can change the penalty for their device. Might actually be a good idea to mention that. See. This is useful to adjust it for the speed of your own device. Yeah, there we go. Your computer and my computer have different performance characteristics, so some of your measurements may be a bit different from mine. But yeah, it's all relative. Yeah, except I got to spell that right. There we go. Cool. All right. So thanks for hanging out with me on this, Peter. You're helping me out a lot, actually. Okay. 16 milliseconds of budget. Where it's a 6x slowdown. Really even better. Okay. So with that, now let's pop open the React Dev Tools and make sure we're only rendering the component that needs to be rendered with this interaction. And here we are with that. So let's just come up here. Grab this. And then that. Where is it? Where, auto? There it is. Okay. Oh, the profiler component. That's not what it is. It's the form. Actually, we want it to be the slow form component. Slow. The only component that re-rendered was the fast.
Only the one that changed.
Yeah.
Also re-rendered.
There we go. It's a fast field, okay. And it has the child penalty component, and its children. There we go. Sweet. So not only did the fast form component not need to re-render, but all the other fast field components didn't need to either. I think I need to switch that around. So not only, okay, well, the only component that re-rendered was the one that needed to, and we didn't need to muck around with memoization at all. In fact, the fast field, or the fast form component didn't re-render. So as a result, the none of the other children needed to either. So we didn't need to muck around with memoization at all. There we go. That's much better. Okay, sweet. Okay. Not sure whether nuance is the right title for this, but or for this next section, but I think it's fine. There's nuance. There are situations where sometimes, like with that confirm password situation where, this password here actually, for example, a confirm password field needs to know the value of the password field to validate it is the same. And then you may need to start worrying about memoization. Nice that React gives us the option. Yep, and cool. All right, sweet, conclusion. You can try the demo here. In fact, I think I've got Remark Embedder on this site, so we can just have it embedded right there. Remember, if you want to try profiling, make sure you're not in dev or not. If you want to try profiling with the Chrome Dev Tools performance tab. It's fine if you're in the React DevTools, as long as you're not looking at the numbers and you don't, all you care about is renders. Make sure you're not actually, or make sure you have built it for production. And double and play around with the throttle and the penalty value. At the end of the day, what matters most is your application code. So I suggest you try some of these strategies on these profiling strategies on your app, and then try state co-location to improve the performance of your components. Good luck. Hooray, I'm done. That's great.
Maybe one question, if you want to distinguish between re-renders and the commits, because the profiling tab for React shows commits, which in this case they are the same, but because we didn't bail out of the re-render, but
yeah,
it's too much detail.
Yeah, I think that's too much to include in here. I think
Okay.
we're probably fine. There was something else I thought might be good. Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, this is solid. Okay, cool. Then I write this in my website actually, in an ignored directory, so that I can get auto formatting, because the Epic React repo doesn't have prettier configured or something. Or yeah, there's something weird about it. Or no, its configuration is different from what I like, but because I don't develop in it, I don't want to like impose my preferences. The only thing is they don't have the markdown automatically adding new lines or like set width on markdown, and I like having that. So I develop it in my directory, and then I bring it over to theirs. Where is it? Improve the performance, right here. Okay. And post. And we can go see PR I've got for this. Post is ready. Could you make... Okay, cool. And I really actually want to see this deployed, because I'm not sure whether the Cloudflare or the Cloudinary images are going to look nice or not. So I can't remember how long it takes to deploy these.
Did you update the code sandbox yet?
I did, yeah. So that shouldn't have the value in it anymore. Yeah, we should be good. What up, Rupert?
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
What are you working on?
I am updating a blog post. Just finished, or not updating. It's actually, as far as blog posts go, for me, it's pretty long. I think a lot of it is code though. So yeah, just talking about how state co-location is a good idea. Oh, and actually I can set the excerpt now. So let's see. Forms can get slow pretty fast. Let's explore how state co-location can make our forms can keep our React forms fast. Yep, that's good enough for me. And now Commit, add excerpt. Yeah, now the trick is to add this to my ConvertKit. I'm gonna move this over here so you don't see my subscribers' emails and stuff, because they probably wouldn't appreciate that. But once I get logged in and into my sequence, then it should be fine. That's weird. Okay. Here we go. All right, here we are. Sweet, so I just grab one of these, copy all that, go down to the bottom, add another one. I'm almost to 100 of these in this sequence. So when somebody signs up for my newsletter, they start at the very beginning, and then they've got 100 weeks of emails to look forward to.
Oh, yeah, I remember I already read those articles, then I subscribed to the email. And I got
yeah.
all of those.
Whole thing again, yeah. You know, for a long time, I just went with broadcasts because broadcasts, it's just like send this to everybody. And that's how I started before I was on ConvertKit. Yeah, my first broadcast was titled New Broadcast because I forgot to update the title. But yeah, I brought all 10,000 of my subscribers over from Button Down to ConvertKit, and I kept on doing just broadcasts. And actually, it was kind of cool because I could send the same broadcast to new subscribers. That's what this was all about. But yeah, eventually Joel convinced me that I should just put it in a sequence so that new subscribers just see this stuff. And I was like, but then if they've already read the blog post, then they're just like getting a blog post that they already read. But for most of the time, it's just like, oh, okay, I already read this one, you archive it, whatever. Or it's like, oh, I haven't read that in a while, I'll go read it again or something. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but that's what I convinced myself. So, okay.
I can find the new ones on Twitter and Discord.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I normally put the excerpt as the first line. That way they see the greeting and then the summary in this, like in their email thing. And then I can kind of talk a little bit about this. Yeah, let's see right there. And then something nice to say to them. Nice and uplifting that I haven't already said. I've used all those nice things like, you're great and have a swell day. Actually, I don't think I've used that one. Have a swell day. There we go. My wife is subscribed to these, and so sometimes I'll think about like talking to her, like, have a swell day, Brooke. Okay, so what am I going to say about this? Countless people ask me how to improve the performance of their forms. I remember really suffering when I was working on Angular, formerly with AngularJS. AngularJS, how do they do that? AngularJS.org. Is that their site? Yeah. Yeah, so they have a capital JS. Really having severe performance issues when I was working on Angular formerly with AngularJS. Forms are just one of those. Unfortunately, Even with React, we sometimes bump against performance issues. It's not that any single component is slow by itself. And often, that together they they combine to be really slow. This is what I call perf death by 1,000 cuts. In today's post, I want hmm. Yeah, okay. Enjoy this article. And we'll just add an emoji for the fun of it. Sweet. We'll make that active. We'll save it. And if this never gets merged, then that's a 404. Hopefully it gets merged. I'm pretty sure it will. The only thing that we need is the banner image, which Vojta should get really quick. And I can just ping him really quick just to make certain that he knows that this is going out tomorrow. That's interesting. This made it seem like it was already deployed. Still minifying that JS bundle. Okay. There those are. Okay, sweet. All right, so come on. Site is live. All right, good. What? It says the site is live, but it's not showing me what the URL for it is. Maybe because, here we go, I bet. There we go. What we do there? I don't need the excerpt. I just want to see articles. Hey, yeah, that looks okay. Sweet. It's coming from Cloudinary. And we got our embed. Sick. And if I go in here, type really fast, it's super duper slow. Whoa, that's very, very slow. And if I type really fast here, oh my goodness, that feels so great. Yeah. But I'm just like, ah, nothing. Look, it's still, it's crazy. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, it's contrived. It is contrived, but like anybody who's experienced this problem totally gets it. They get it. They don't need me to give like a high fidelity example. This is kind of cool. Open Netlify drawer. What is this? It's like DevTools. That's cool. Huh, I wonder why it doesn't know that I'm logged in. Oh, well, that's very cool. Yeah, this article is good, actually. I feel really good about this one. It's kind of just an expansion on my state co-location article, which actually makes me think that I'll just go ahead and update that to include a link right now. And it'll be a 404 for a few hours for anybody who sees it, which I don't care. That's fine. State co-location will make your app faster. Yes, I wrote another article that covers this topic from the perspective of forms and perf death by 1,000 cuts. Head on over to Epic React Dev to read. Add link to that. Okay, cool. That is, yeah, that's it. I finished the blog post before lunchtime. Today's the last day of school for my kids, and so we're gonna go out to lunch with them for the fun of it. So yeah, I'm gonna take off and go out to lunch with them. And then this afternoon, I'll probably be like, because I want to finish setting up Prisma for my website. So yeah, should be fun. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for your help, Peter.
Good luck.